In example 10, we have a problem that can be a little bit tricky if we're not paying close attention to how this is written. What we would want to make sure we're noticing or keeping in mind is that what this expression is really stating is that we're taking the log base 5 of x, and then from that function we're subtracting 1. That is not the same thing as the log base 5 of the quantity x minus 1. Those would come up with two values, and in one case we would have a shift down, whereas in the other case we would have a shift to the right. If we don't see parentheses around whatever follows after that log statement, then we want to assume that just that piece is what's being contained within that log function. So that minus 1 is a separate piece, telling us that in this case what's happening is we have a shift down of 1 unit, meaning our horizontal asymptote isn't moving. And our log function, which would normally pass through 1, 0, is now going to pass through 1, negative 1. And that entire graph will just be shifted down by 1 unit. In example 11, we're back to an exponential graph, and we have a plus 2 at the end, meaning our function, our graph, is being shifted up by 2 units. That tells us, first of all, that our asymptote that would normally be at y equals 0 is now going to be at y equals 2. So we're going to say that this first tick mark is 2 units up. So that horizontal asymptote has been shifted up by 2 units. That also means that our graph that normally would have passed through 0, 1, (1, 2), and negative 1, 1/2. Now all of those y coordinates are being increased by 1, so now our graph is going to be passing through 0, 3, 1, 5, and actually, sorry, let me go back. My arithmetic is off today. If we're increasing by 2, that's going to be through 1, 4, and through negative 1, 5/2. So if this was 2, this would be approximately 4. What we're going to see now is our graph passing through that point 0, 3, and then 1, 4. So we have that exponential function shifted up by 2 units, meaning that also that horizontal asymptote gets shifted up 2 units as well. In our last example, we have 2 transformations being applied. We have a shift to the right of 3 units and a shift down of 1 unit. Since our function is being shifted down by 1 unit, that means our horizontal asymptote is now going to be passing through y equals negative 1. If everything's being shifted down by 1 unit, our graph that normally would have passed through 0, 1 is now going to pass through 0, 0. And if we also have this shift to the right of 3 units, now we're going to be hitting the point 0, 3. So we have that same exponential curve, just shifted to the right by 3 units, and actually down 1 unit from that original curve.